So this war between Israel, Iran, the United States, the ceasefire has taken some weird twists and turns overnight, like only something Donald Trump would be in charge of would take. So I wanted to keep you guys updated on this. So as you know, the Trump administration came out and said that they had hit 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities and had completely decimated them. According to them, they had 100% disabled all of Iran's nuclear capabilities and nuclear ambitions. But then J.D. Vance and other people in Donald Trump's administration went out and gave interviews about this, right? And they were asked, hey, are you guys sure you disabled all of their nuclear capabilities? And they were all really murky on the details about this. Like, it didn't seem like they knew what had actually happened or if they had actually disabled all of Iran's capabilities. So many news organizations, rightfully so, started questioning if they had actually disabled all of their nuclear capabilities. It was a question that they were being asked, and none of them could answer that question correctly because, of course, this incompetent administration would screw that up. Well, then you had Iran come out and, basically shoot some missiles off at at one of our bases in Qatar. And I guess, some of those were intercepted. Some may be hit. We're real murky on the details about that as well. But we know that there were no casualties, right? So because of all of these screw ups, right? And then Donald Trump comes out and says, there's a ceasefire, right? He is there. They came to me. Iran came to me. Israel came to me. They said, we want peace right now, right? So he comes out. He says, there's a ceasefire. And of course, all the MAGAs and all the Republican politicians are out there like, give Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. We're all safe now. What the hell are they talking about? Then Iran comes out and says, we haven't seen a ceasefire agreement. So Donald Trump basically says, this ceasefire goes into effect in like 6 to 12 hours or something like that. While he's out here saying this, while they're doing a victory lap, while they're all saying, give him the Nobel Peace Prize, Iran and Israel are shooting missiles at each other. And actually, there were 3 casualties in this as well. So what does Donald Trump come out and do today? He comes out and he tries to frame this as the media is disrespecting the pilots of the B-2 bombers. They're disrespecting them by saying they didn't decimate these 3 targets. Nobody's saying they didn't do their job. And Donald Trump knows this. He knows that they're incompetent. He knows they have egg on their faces. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to use you can't disrespect the military thing. And he's saying, NBC and CNBC and CNDNC and CNN, they're all scum and they're disrespecting our military members, and they need to go out and apologize to them.
Those B-2 pilots did an unbelievable job. And, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
You don't believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are.
And this is what you call desperation. They know that this whole we have a ceasefire thing makes them look stupid. So they are like, how can we reframe this and put this on someone else? Let's say that these people are disrespecting our pilots. Everyone knows that's not what's happening, but that's what they're trying to do. And of course, you're going to have the MAGAs and the Republicans out there saying exactly the same thing. When what we're actually saying is that this administration is incompetent, and after going out and having some type of mission and sending these people out to talk about this mission, they're not even ready to have this conversation. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know if Iran will be able to have a nuclear bomb again. They have no idea. So then Donald Trump is asked, after this horrible freaking thing that he says about the pilots and everything, then he's asked, will Iran be able to ever get, have a nuclear bomb or whatever? He's like, there's no way in hell they can do this. And then he starts talking about how he's upset, right? He is upset about Israel shooting bombs at Iran. He's upset at Iran shooting bombs at Israel. Then he says, Israel shot one this morning that I'm really mad about. Maybe they did it by mistake. And then he makes this statement at the end that really tells you it's actually him who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
How do you shoot a missile by mistake? They've been shooting missiles back and forth at each other. Israel knows exactly what the fuck they're doing. Iran knows exactly what the fuck they're doing. It's Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, and Pete Hegseth, and the rest of these freaking idiots who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because they're the ones who came out and said there's a ceasefire while we were all watching missiles being shot at each other. There's no ceasefire. Donald Trump jumps the gun all the time. And now when he's dealing with adults who are not in our country, who don't feel like they have to bootlick for him, they're out here saying, this guy's a freaking liar. He's full of shit. We don't have an agreement right now because they're still shooting at us and we're still shooting at them. Now, there could be an agreement that comes out any minute now. They might have a signed agreement that comes out. But that doesn't mean anything because who the hell respects Donald Trump? It's obvious they don't respect him because if they did, they wouldn't have been shooting off missiles at each other while he was out there announcing a freaking ceasefire. When I've been saying to you that other countries are laughing at us, that other countries don't respect us, that other countries don't give a damn about Donald Trump, they're all proving it now. They love to say how we weren't respected when Joe Biden was president. There was never a time where Joe Biden came out and announced a ceasefire while people were still fighting with each other. They don't respect Donald Trump. They see that most of the American people don't respect Donald Trump. So why in the hell would these world leaders in other places respect his ass? These people are incompetent. They're pathetic. And no one, absolutely no one, should believe anything that comes out of their goddamn mouths. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.